Hi, Connie Love here. I'm doing another video. Connie Love and Lou.
And Lewis.
So here we go. He's got some important information I think that you guys need to hear. Take it over.
Well, we were talking about the FCC, and I was thinking to myself the other night, and I think the FCC would be a great thing to look at again, especially for targeted individuals or TIs, people that are targeted by frequencies, and how the FCC has so much information on different frequencies. And I know a lot of people looked at frequency charts, and I spent a lot of time looking at them, and I think that's a good thing. But I mean, we really haven't tried to pull the FCC into court or anything like that, much less getting evidence for TIs that have frequency challenges, such as this, where we're just being tortured by these frequencies every day. So I want to say that to be able to help yourself, gathering evidence. A lot of TIs use scanners and spectrum analyzers.
Yes.
They use computers to find information. And all kinds of things, all kinds of stuff. So, it's basically like, if you go back to what the cyber torture mandate of the report said, it mentioned cognitive radio and all kinds of things in there, that neurotechnology. And this is a lot of practice that people aren't talking about, is the cyber torture mandate, where Nils Melzer had conducted an investigation on, and through Julian Assange, because of what happened to him. So there's a lot of things that we're forgetting. We're not looking at that mandate, that report.
And then you also have to take into consideration that it's millions of Americans that are being targeted by frequencies, and they don't even realize it. They could be in their home, in their car, or in the park, or anywhere, and they're not realizing it. The targeting has intensified in the last 10 years. Still doing MK Ultra, and everything old is new now. So these are the things that we're dealing with, but it is upgrade. It's upgraded, where they are still using the hallucinative drugs, LSD, and trying to get your mind on it, because they want to constantly manipulate your thoughts. They want to be able to crawl into your brain and figure out what you are thinking. They want to crawl into your brain to control your thoughts. Transhumanism. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't know how to stop this. There's so many people that have wrote letters to senators, governors, representatives, legislators, Congress.
The president.
Yes. And it's not stopping.
Foreign leaders.
Yes. Yes.
Emails, videos.
Yes. Faxes.
All kinds of stuff.
I mean, tons of them with protests and rallies, and everybody's putting that information out there. But, due to all of the mind control, those thoughts are not penetrating into a lot of Americans' brains. They are so asleep. And I hope one day they wake up.
And they are able to see
what is really going on.
Yeah.
So much has changed. I'm looking back at my own personal targeting over the years, and how every year it gets a little bit worse, and every year the gang stalkers get a little more. It's like today's gang stalkers and yesterday's gang stalkers have upgraded, because now they're totally lawless. They're right in front of you, right in your face. They do not care who sees them, because they have the control over the whole country. They can control everybody around you. It's just scary. It is so scary that they can come into your area and everybody that's around you looks at you differently or talks to you differently. It's not the same, and it's lawless now.
Yeah. And being a TI, you know, I was in my 30s, my early 30s when I got targeted like this. But I've been experimented on since I was way earlier ages, you know, my toddler ages when I was about 3, or probably younger than that or older. I don't know, but I remember when I was 14, I would have so many types of different things going on with me, and like frequency wise, and I would always feel like someone was watching me when I would lay there in my bed at night. I would look up. I'd always feel like someone's watching me, much like I still do today, you know. And but I was in my early 30s when I finally reached the point of cyber torture, and you know, I'm 38 years old now, so I see changes. You know, as I grow older, I see the world changing, and I see me being still as a TI, and you know, the world, everything's changing around me. It's like going from the 70s into the 80s. And not to say that change is bad. Things happen, you know. God changes things. He moves things around the world. He shifts everything around. And knowing that gives you sort of a passive motion to understanding. And that's some things to understand, is that not everything always remains the same, but things over time change. You know, much like yourself, or, you know, just being a human being, for that matter. And you know, if you like cats or dogs, you might eventually like to have a turtle. But you know, being a TI, it's like, you know, you have to realize that there's things change out there in the world, and you know, that's something I had to comprehend, because for a while I was going through a daze of ego information and trying to figure out what's going on around me, and you know, we just had a major impact, you know, from people. We live in Arizona, me and Constance, and we just had a major impact of all kinds of people moving here. So it's been bouncy, it's been jumpy here and there.
It's like we don't even live in the same country anymore. It's like our targeting, being a TI.
Yeah, I mean, the changes that come with that, you have to.
Yes, it's like you're in I don't know. You're in a. Okay.
You're in another world.
You're in another world. Exactly.
Like you're not in the world that they live in. You're in the world
a different
that you
world.
live
It's
in.
like you're separate.
So, yeah.
You're still in the same world, but you're not in the same world.
It's like they all work in motion around you while you're just navigating through all these things, and you're like.
Yeah. It's like their life is so happy. You hear them talking. Not a lot of laughter nowadays.
Yeah.
But you hear them talking about, oh, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to do that. And you're sitting there like, oh, remember, I don't know if I can't remember. It's been so long since my life's been orchestrated by demonic possession, orchestrated
demonic
by technology,
mind technology, remote neural monitoring.
Yes.
All that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't even realize what life was before this. Because this happens year after year
The only thing
after
that you can
year.
really do is pull emotions from your past and how things were back then, because the only way to feel good is to do something like that. Bring yourself back to an earlier date of your life.
Yeah.
And being able to understand what you were going through back then.
And try to remember when you were, when was the last time you were really genuinely happy?
What made you the happiest?
Yes.
You know, or you know, you can pretend like you're not targeted. You know, put it into your head, and you're not targeted, and you're not receiving V2K or neural electronics or anything like that, and just put yourself in a different world, and it kind of makes you sort of like back real again, I guess. I don't know, whatever you call it.
It's a temporary fix. It's very, very temporary, because they make sure they snap you back into the reality that you are a targeted individual, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. There's nothing you can do about it. So they can make you mad, they can make you angry, they can do all these things, but hey, you gotta be able to control yourself, because you know, or control the robot, because you're being targeted. It can make you so angry in a second because you're being targeted by something that's been there for decades, and you can't get rid of it. What do you do when it keeps coming after you? You gotta change your mind. You gotta change your frequency of your mind.
Yes.
To knock it off
Yes.
automatically, just to protect
and
yourself.
Do you remember when your home was your sanctuary? When everything in your home, and you go to work and you rush home because you were so glad to be home. Most TIs leave their house because they don't want to be there, because your home is no longer your sanctuary. Your home is no longer your safe place.
Yep, these people move right
there
on
is
in.
a movie called No Safe Place. Dennis Prager made that movie, and I didn't understand how he could understand how to make a movie like that. But then again, I never understood how they made Twilight Zone.
I don't know. Twilight Zone was made within yourself. With this stuff that's going on now. I look at Constance's situation. We all have hard lives as being TIs, but Constance, she has a child that she has to take care of, and they have her targeted. Both are targeted, and that's really hard. That's really hard to deal with, and to know that people would target somebody, especially in their older ages or that's disabled in certain ways, and still target you. That's insane. What kind of people are these? These people, they need to be dragged down and have their feet burned. And I'm pretty sure God's going to deal with that.
Yes. But we're living in a world that is changing. I want to say changing year by year, but I kind of want to take it to the realistic understanding that this world is changing minute by minute. And it's time for everybody to wake up and smell the coffee.
Smell the beans.
It is coming your way, doing 50. And if you don't feel it, it will make sure you know it's there.
It's there. It's a wind blow, and you gotta catch up with the wind, because the wind, it'll blow you away.
It will blow you away.
Even for TIs, because even for myself, I've been in TI for a while, and believe me, there's been times and seconds that I felt like I was getting blown away, and I had to hustle and I had to become a more of a man to understand things, or a better man, or another man, or some kind of man, or be who I was, just a lot stronger and hopefully tougher person than what I was before. But
yeah, and you're thinking. I remember when sleep was a beautiful thing. When you could go to bed and get a beautiful night's sleep. When you become a TI, when you go to bed, you pray hard that you can make it through the night. You wake up, your legs are hurting, your head is hurting. And now they got all kind of chemicals. They got the smart dust. They got the nanodots. They got nanotechnology that is poured into your living environment. And a lot of people don't know it. A lot of people do not know why. Sometimes they get very, very sick. Or why sometimes they can't hardly breathe. Or why when they wake up in the morning and there's all kind of dirt, dust and stuff on their bed, and they know they just made their bed up before they went to bed. Now it shouldn't be there. My feet ain't dirty. This is the new technology that is a big part, my understanding, depopulation. They don't want us here no more. Our lives don't count.
At least
we are not a part of the club.
Nope, we're not trying to be either. So
no, thank you.
Of course, we're targeted because we were I don't know, but everybody has their own speculation. But going back to waking up in the morning, when I wake up, I'm always like, oh, what's going on? Where am I at? It's like waking up to a new birth of life, because my memory's gone, and I have to figure out what I'm doing, where I'm at, and what's going on, because I see daylight, and it's like I made it through the night. I'm back alive again. So it's like rebirth all over again. And then throughout my day, I started getting frequencies in my ears with them talking to me and stuff. The neuroelectronics. But it's these big universities and these big colleges that do all the experimentations with AI.
Every corporation, the FBI,
the FCC,
CIA.
the FCC works with these colleges. They have all the information.
Yes.
The colleges have all this information. And the FCC has a specialized team that's supposed to do searching for illegal frequencies. How come they can't find this?
Why aren't they doing their job? Things that make you go, Why is it that this world is so anxious for depopulation that they are ready to kill millions and millions and millions of people? It's a money grabber. There's too much money in this to lose.
There's a lot of money.
Oh,
a lot of
boy.
money in it. That's for
I
sure.
don't want no blood money. No, thank you.
No, I'll take the money that's owed me. I'll take that cash because that's my blood on that money.
I love the legal money, not the illegal money. And you look at the people that are doing this, and you ask yourself, how could they do something like this? And that's when you know that it ain't blood and bones. This is human. This is principalities in high places.
And this thing will do anything to keep you from being discharged by yourself. Because if you have family or you have loved ones or someone that you care about a lot, which I care about Connie a lot. She's been my friend for a long time and I love her to death. When you have those special relationships, they really work towards getting that to end because both of you have such a great understanding and a light with each other. It's the frequencies that do the cybernetic robotic stuff that's hitting in your brain. They pick that stuff up, and it's inside the program to make sure that you stay on track because the stasis that they have you in is keeping your mind and your body in this particular area so you don't navigate inside your brain off page.
Yes, they want to make sure that your brain is controlled where you can't function.
Yeah, so
normally.
It's basically like an interface that you have to go through just to get through life, get through days. A totally complete different interface without thinking, oh, well, I think I want coffee, or I want hamburgers, or I want beans. Instead, it's like, instead it just pushes you to the point of just grabbing and doing, grabbing.
Or they'll put a thought in your mind what they want you to have.
That's another one. They can also put ideas in your head or thought objections
like
and
where
things like that.
you want to go.
Where do you want to spend your time?
They delete that and put in there where they want you to go.
Yeah, that's why it's not good to get on the internet because the internet is full of information that's really bad for your brain and the way things are changing. Some good, a lot of positive, good things are happening. A lot of negative things are also happening, but
especially your cell phone.
Yeah.
Because if you get buried into your cell phone, where your cell phone is the first thing you grab in the morning and the last thing you put down at night, you got to ask yourself, why am I so addicted to my cell phone? Is it something that I want to do, or is it something they want me to do?
Yeah, because you can feel totally different the next day. And we were just listening to a video from a guy that makes videos, and he was talking about how people sleep, and they can use frequencies on you to program your mind while you're sleeping.
And a lot of the people were having the same exact dreams. And they were for different cities, different states.
Different areas.
Yes,
countries.
Townships, exactly.
I'll tell you what.
They were all having the same dream.
The people in Philippines get it really bad. I know that.
Wow.
People in the Philippines get it bad.
Wow.
They do. People in the Philippines get it really bad. But so do we here in America.
Yes.
But Philippines, if of course this is America, it's a fortunate company that has growth, or a country that has growth and all this stuff. Not to say that the Philippines isn't. Philippines is a great place. A lot of people go out there. A lot of people live there. But Philippines have it pretty bad when it comes to targeting because, and it's easier to be a TI in a heavier populated area where there's more growth and people and patterns and things.
And their lifestyle is so different. They're easily they are easily manipulated. Just my own opinion. A lot of them, and the women and it's the men are more the controlling portion. It's maybe not. I've never been to Philippines, but in my opinion, that might have a lot to do with it. And then you look at the family. What happened? The dad, the mom, the kids, the grandma, the grandpa. It's divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And boy, have they done a bang-up job of destroying that combination of family importance.
Yeah, and that's what I like to bring up is all these apps that come from China, like TikTok and all this stuff. If I believe China did create TikTok, but all these apps that people get on and they film themselves, it's an infiltrating method to break up your home and your family, because when people watch this stuff, they want to veer off the other way and go to a different partner. You know, if you can break up families inside of America, then that means your whole country can be infiltrated by other people, and then whoever lived there before will either go away or die off or anything.
And America is supposed to be the greatest country on earth. But you know what? America is starting to not look like America. And everything that's happening, a lot of people are being targeted. Freedom of speech is violated. And I don't know if we're ever going to get it back. There's people that commit crimes. They're bad people. And the good people go to jail and the bad people get out. Well, we're about to end this. So you going to say something else?
Yeah, one thing I like to say is when it comes to your freedom of speech, they only take it if you let them take it. If you let them take it, you know, you keep yourself in here and in your mind, because you know what's right and what's wrong. You know the things that you've done in your life and things that you've been through in your life, and you know that you know if you live in America, you're an American. So you know all these objective ideas that society or different parts of society tries to put inside your mind. If you do that, then others are going to do it too. So if you keep yourself on a free level where you're free, you make others free around you because they see that.
Yeah, they do. And you got to wonder about yourself. Are you going to let everything that's going on around you take away your morals, your integrity, and your ethics? Are you going to keep those? Remember Martin Luther King says you don't judge a person by the color of their skin, but by their character.
That's right.
It's Connie Love.
It's Lewis.
God bless you.
Have a good night.
Until the next time.
Till the next day.
Bye.